Good afternoon, everyone. This is May 1997 here. This is my first time ever using a PowerPoint for one of my informational videos, so giving this a stab at. So we'll see how well this goes. Alright, so today I want to talk about the Mount Sakurajima volcano, which is on high alert, and we're going to discuss on why such a high alert right now. So here's a summary of what's been going on here. So on August 15th, the alert status for the volcano was raised to level 4. Now there's a 5-point scale. There's a 5-point scale that the Japan Meteorological Agency uses that they'll assign to volcanoes who are in a restless state. So level 4 means that people around the volcano need to be ready to evacuate. This alert came out after there was over 1,000 volcanic earthquakes that shook the mountain on the 15th, which is a very sudden spike in earthquakes. It usually isn't that high, but it did happen. Since then, however, earthquakes have declined in numbers, but there's still periods of volcanic earthquakes that continue at this volcano. They've also detected rapid inflation of the mountain. The north side of the mountain has inflated by up to I believe 20 centimeters, which is pretty significant. I've heard the south side of the mountains had even more. So there's been a lot of inflation. Inflation typically means that there's magma on the move. That means magma is probably rising. Recent reports, as of today, they found a lava dome has blocked the volcanic conduit. This is where the volcanic gases and eruptions escape. So due to this blockage, the internal pressure of the volcano has been rising, which this is noted due to the rapid decrease in volcanic gas that comes out of the volcano. So a sudden drop in the volcanic gas usually means there's a blockage somewhere, and that can be very bad for an active volcano. The eruption frequency at the volcano has also dropped off. Usually erupts a few times a day, and the eruptions have been almost non-existent for the month of August. So there's definitely an increased probability of a major eruption, and this is coming straight from the Meteorological Agency of Japan. This here is just a little picture I got off the internet of Mount Sakurajima. This is what it looks like. It's like this island. It's surrounded by water, and then you get this volcanic cone that comes up, and then eruptions come up the top of it, of course. Here's the location of Sakurajima. It's close to the city of Kagoshima. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a city of over 600,000 residents. There's also some other communities that are located around this volcano, so it is a densely populated area. Eruption soon, maybe? So this volcano normally erupts on a daily basis, but because of this blockage, eruptions have become very infrequent. So that's not good. That traps all the gas inside the mountain, and that can, that increases the pressure in the magma chamber and makes an eruption more likely. So the eruptions have been very infrequent. We haven't seen very many eruptions since probably, I believe, the end of July is when the eruptions started decreasing. And in the month of August, there's hardly been any. We've had a few small eruptions in this past week, but really, I believe the amount of eruptions in this week have only been like 2 or 3, and that's over a week, and that's typically what we see every day at this volcano. The inflation of the mountain does signal that there is a pretty significant buildup of magma underneath the volcano. The exact amount of magma is not known, but considering the amount of inflation we've seen since January, there's a good chance that there's a pretty high amount of magma that's built up underneath this thing. which is not good. Some experts do believe that a large eruption is right around the corner, and that's why the city of Kagoshima is on an evacuation alert. So the 600,000 residents, or how many residents are in that city, are ready to evacuate if this volcano does decide to go off. So if an eruption happens, it does look like it could displace quite a few people if it does build into some really huge eruption. Sakurajima's last major eruption was in 1914. It was rated a VEI 4. It was a large Plinian eruption that I believe the earthquakes that preceded this eruption killed at least 35 people. I will say this is my personal opinion, and I think some experts would agree that if a major eruption does unfold at this volcano, it could be similar in size to the 1914 eruption, which this type of eruption would cause significant ashfall across parts of southern Japan, including Kagoshima. Kagoshima would probably experience some significant damage. There'd be some there would definitely be lots of evacuations. I will say this, in case some of you are wondering, a full-scale eruption of the Aira Caldera is not expected because this volcano is an active vent of the Aira Caldera, which, if you've heard, some people call the Aira Caldera a supervolcano because of its enormous eruption 22,000 years ago that created this caldera. As a VEI 7 released several hundred cubic kilometers of material. At this time, there is no reason to suspect that an eruption of that scale is imminent. So that's good news. Not expecting something like that because that would have some major consequences for Japan and neighboring areas. Well, thank you for watching this. Hopefully this video turned out pretty well. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those comments. All right, we'll see you later.